let's look and see how many people actually die from these things. Is this what we need to be concerned about? Well, I mean, clearly, 9/11 was a terrible tragedy, and, it did a lot of violence to our national psyche. But the fact of the matter is that only about 3,100 Americans died that day, and that was 5 years ago, and fortunately, no one else has died from terrorism since then. So that clearly doesn't make the top of the list. Now, with respect to violent crime, according to the FBI statistics, last year there were 16,911 murders in the United States. And that is a sizable number, but when you realize that we have a population of nearly 300 million people, that actually means that any individual's chances of being killed are actually fairly small. And it's especially true when you realize that your chances of being murdered are dependent on whether or not you're in a high-risk environment. So if you stay away from the high-risk environments like bars, drug-infested neighborhoods, hunting trips with Dick Cheney, you should be okay. Well, with respect to plane accidents, there are usually none, unless, like as an unfortunate case a couple months ago, there's a pilot error that leads to an accident. But for the most part, plane travel, air travel is the safest way to travel actually in history. So usually from year to year within this country, we don't have any deaths from plane accidents. And as far as the scary disease du jour, please. Well, given that this is what people are concerned about, but these really aren't the things that kill Americans, I would suggest that we have misplaced priorities, just like the lady in this slide. Now, if you see the sign here says, "Do not feed the animals," unfortunately, her husband's in the process of being consumed by a crocodile. Is she calling for help? Is she yelling, "Stop"? What is her concern? You're embarrassing me, Warren. Clearly, her priorities are misplaced. The actual leading causes of death in this country are, number one, cardiovascular diseases. 685,000 people died last year. Cancers, over 500,000 people. Stroke, over 160,000. Auto accidents, 42,000 plus. Diabetes, nearly 250,000, and obesity is hard to estimate, but clearly the deaths are greater than 100,000 each year. And this is important because experts estimate that up to 80% of the major disease and premature death that we see in this country every year could be prevented by changes in diet and lifestyle. So if you want to get the person who's a real danger to Americans, forget about chasing this guy. He's not the one. And go after this one. Our diets are dysfunctional on a cosmic scale. We make ourselves sick with the foods that we eat, and then we spend billions of dollars on massive amounts of over-the-counter and prescription medications, be it Prilosec, Fibercon, you name it, and other health products to try and counteract the baleful effects of our unhealthy and unnatural diets. This is truly national madness. Well, this is an old Southern expression. It says the child ain't right. And if you look at the sign, it says Midvale School for the Gifted. The sign on the door says pull, but my friend here is just pushing with all his might. Between 1993 and 2002, there was a six-fold increase in the amount of antipsychotic medications prescribed to children and teens. Studies show that ADHD and possibly depression and other psychiatric illnesses in children may be related to their habitual diet. By the way, use of antidepressant drugs in teens may also increase the risk of suicidal ideation. High intake of animal protein, both meat and dairy, has been linked to increased incidence and severity of behavioral mood disorders in children. Toxins in and created by fermentation of animal protein residues in the human colon have been shown to correlate with exacerbation of symptoms and or negative behaviors in these disorders. Well, this is your side of the family, you realize. And these are rattlesnakes, but instead of shaking his tail, his head is going like gangbusters. Research has shown in utero exposure to mercury negatively impacts child brain development. Because of this, pregnant women are urged to limit their exposure to tuna and other fish and seafoods. In addition to mercury, fish and other animal foods are known to have high levels of PCBs, dioxins, pesticides residue, and other toxins that may negatively affect child development. Studies have also shown that in utero exposure to N-nitrosyl compounds in cured meats is associated with increased incidence of childhood brain tumors. By contrast, research has shown vegetarian and vegan children tend to score higher on average on IQ tests than non-vegetarian children. So if you love your kids, stop feeding them this garbage. Well, it is said, laughter doeth good like a medicine. And this is a little story called Heavenly Health. And God populated the earth with broccoli and cauliflower and spinach, green and yellow vegetables of all kinds, so man and woman would live long and healthy lives. And Satan created McDonald's. And McDonald's brought forth the 99-cent double cheeseburger, and Satan said to man, "You want fries with that?" And man said, "Supersize me," and man gained pounds. And God created the healthful fruit, so woman might keep her figure that man found so fair, and Satan brought forth chocolate, and woman gained pounds. And God said, "Try my crispy salad." And Satan brought forth ice cream, and woman gained more pounds. And God said, "I have sent you heart-healthy vegetables and olive oil with which to cook them." And Satan brought forth fried chicken in a bucket. And man gained more pounds, and his bad cholesterol went through the roof. And God brought forth running shoes, and man resolved to lose those extra pounds. And Satan brought forth cable TV with remote control, so man would not have to toil to change channels between ESPN and ESPN2, and man gained even more pounds. Well, God said, "You're running up the score, devil." So God brought forth the potato, a vegetable naturally low in fat and brimming with nutrition. And Satan peeled off the healthful skin and sliced the starchy center into chips and deep fried them. And he created sour cream dip also, and man clutched his remote control and ate the potato chips swaddled in trans fat and cholesterol, and Satan saw and said, "It is good." And man went into cardiac arrest. So God, in his infinite mercy, sighed and created quadruple bypass surgery, and Satan created HMOs. And the lady says, "In the interest of sound fiscal policy, we've decided to discontinue dealing with sick people."